Paritosh? Yeah, to go to past Governor Rahul Timbadia to make the next lucky draw. It's a complimentary dining experience once again at India Jones for 2 at the Trident Nariman Point. 1, 0, 9, 2. Nilesh Barfiwala. Wow. The next prize entitles you for a one-night stay for a premier room on a double occupancy basis, including breakfast, at the Trident Nariman Point. And this time may I request you to go to past Governor Kumar Keval Ramani. One, 3, 6. His hand is already up. 1, 3, 6, 3. Going once. Up where? Come on. It goes to Umesh Balani. Give him a big hand, please. All yours, Nikhil.
Sandeep sir, मेरा number है 1456. Just letting you know for the next time. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Not allowed. ऐसा मत बोलिए, sir. Please. All right, moving on to our spectacular sponsor session. Firstly, a big round of applause for ICICI Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, our amazing title sponsors, our amazing sponsors, of course, for making today happen. And we have the Zonal Head, Private Banking Group, ICICI Bank, Mr. Umesh Balani, with us to share his amazing thoughts. Oh, this was not planned. Absolutely not. Umesh sir, firstly, many congratulations. And stage is all yours. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. It's really a pleasure and an honor to be here in this wonderful event. Thanks a lot, Vineet, for having us in this event. And, after this session from Sanjeev, I think it's a very difficult job. I'm sure it will not be as interesting as his session was, but what I'll try to do is to make sure in the session you find something which is useful to you in your personal finances. So what we are going to cover here today is in our private banking business at ICICI Bank, which is addressed to the high net worth and the ultra high net worth individuals. What are the services that we provide? And these services are in 3 domains. First is banking, second is investments, and third is succession planning. And I'll here specifically try to cover areas that many people may not know that ICICI Bank provides, so that when you go back from this session, there's something that you know which you didn't know till now. So in our private banking business, there's an institutional ownership of clients. So which means there are 3 individuals who man the relationship. There is a relationship manager, there is an investment specialist, and a customer service manager. So between the 3 of them, the onus is to see that various aspects of a client relationship are very well addressed. So all the requirements are exhaustively taken care between the 3 of them. Here I start with our mobile banking application, which is iMobile. This is considered to be 5 times in a row the best banking app in this country. And before COVID, many high net worth individuals will say that my banking, my payments, etc. are done by my office. I don't look after that. But during COVID times, because there was a disruption in the way you do banking, the checks reaching the bank, the clearing and so on. So that was a time when many people got used to our platform, which is iMobile, where literally you can do fund transfers with just 3 clicks. So today what we say is, other than operating your locker, everything else you can do on our mobile banking app itself. And you know, we recently opened our app to the clients of other banks also, which means it's not necessary for you to have a bank account with ICICI Bank to be able to use that. And the kind of numbers that we are seeing by the day increase makes us believe that this app that we have tried to build has a lot of merit. And here, one attempt that we have very consciously tried to do is to keep the app very less intimidating. Because typically when you're dealing on any app, there is, you know, something coming from the right, something coming from the left, there is a banner here, there's a banner there, and you feel a little bit lost, you feel a little bit choked. So we have tried to keep our app very, very uncomplicated so that, you know, your things can be done just in a matter of few clicks. Managing your credit card, managing your bank account, everything can be done in a very, very seamless way. So that's the first thing that I thought I would showcase to you. The second thing is about our credit card platform. So our Emerald credit card, which is the highest end of our credit card, I think is known to many clients because it's been there for long. What I wanted to share is the 2 cards that we have recently launched. One is a co-branded card with Emirates. So you'll find that very interesting because many people in this room will be very frequent flyers across the world. And everybody would want that I must have a gold membership of Emirates, which is very difficult to come by. It takes a lot of years, a lot of flights to be able to reach there. But if you were to get a Emirates card from our bank, you get the silver membership right on signing itself. And in a year, if you spend a very minimal amount, you know, on the card using anything, and just 50,000 out of that on Emirates, in the next year you get the gold membership. So this is something which you can say is in ultra high net worth segment, one of the very good features that we have introduced. The second one is our co-branded card with Amazon. So, you know, during the COVID times, we all started shopping a lot on Amazon. And, you know, that's where our co-branded card with Amazon comes in. And globally, Amazon has only 3 partnerships. So the partnership that they have for India is with ICICI Bank. And in this card, you know, whatever shopping as a Prime member that you're doing on Amazon.in, for most of the items, almost 99%, there is a flat 5% payback into your account immediately, irrespective of the amount, irrespective of the time of the year. In fact, I've spent nearly 23 years with ICICI Bank, and in this 23 years, if there's one thing that my wife and my daughter has appreciated is this, because on anything that they shop, they get a flat 5% payback, which I think can be very useful. Now I come to our third, platform, which is our ICICIdirect.com, which is our DMAT service and our online share trading portal. So here, 2-3 things that I would share here, which makes it very interesting. I think the first thing is that you know, as a Prime member, when you sell your shares, up to 1 crore comes to your account instantly. So till last week, we had this time as 30 minutes. But from the coming Monday, the 1 crore amount that if you sell shares worth 1 crore, the money comes into your account in less than 5 minutes. So this time for the industry is roughly about 2 working days. So from 2 working days, we have tried to squeeze it down to like 5 minutes from this coming Monday. The second thing is that on our trading platform, just the way you buy Indian shares, you can also buy stocks and mutual funds of 6 other countries. So you can buy Apple, Google, Facebook, stocks from China, stocks from Hong Kong, and so on, under LRS, which is the Liberalized Remittance Scheme of RBI, under which one can transfer $250,000 outside the country within the limit. And in fact, Vineet had asked me to also share that as ICICI Bank, we also have a facility to open bank accounts in ICICI London. So you can open a bank account with ICICI London as your global USD or a GBP account, which has all iMobile and all those features also. So, so the LRS account, I think specifically since the LRS limits are till March, it's very important that, you must know that if you wanted to do LRS and you do not have a US dollar account, if you want to open with ICICI Bank, it can be opened in flat 8 minutes. So you hold your passport in your hand and sit with us for 8 minutes in India, and the account gets opened instantly. So the account comes with all internet banking, debit card, checkbook, and all of that. So that's the second thing. The third thing, I think, is the table that you find at the bottom. I think that is one of our very, a feature which is very popular in ultra high net worth individuals, which is about stock advisory. So this scheme is called Gladiator. And in this scheme, there are 2 things that we tell our clients. First is when we issue a call to buy a share, you buy when we say, you sell when we say, and you put an equal amount in all the calls, right? So if you just were to maintain these 2 disciplines, buy when we say, sell when we say, and put equal amount in all, this is the return that you would have generated. So in 2022, as a year, we gave about 123 calls and generated 66% absolute return for our clients. In the same period, the Nifty 500 and Nifty was about 3-4%. And in the year 2021, the scheme generated 86% return. The year before, 84% return. I think even in a very bad year, which was 2018, when some of the indices were negative, this scheme generated 28% return for our clients. So this Gladiator is our equity advisory services that one could sign up. But most important is that you follow these 2 disciplines, because it's not that all calls go right. There are 19% calls that go wrong also. So it should not be that you're holding those 19 calls much more than the others. So these are 3 things that I thought I would share on our equity advisory platform. Home loans, I wouldn't cover too much. These are our calls that we issue as a private banking team on markets, because what we feel as a bank, the calls that we give about the markets as to what to buy and what to sell at any point of time makes the most of the difference. So the large calls that you give about the economy are most important. After that, which fund you choose, which scheme you choose, moves the needle by 2-3% here and there, right? So what we've done is we have our Global Economic Council, and within that council, we have put all the key senior people of the ICICI group who deal with investments. Because as a bank, we get a lot of economic data that comes into us. We process that economic data and try to come up with trends. So I would like to just give an example of 2020 as a year, which was the COVID year. I think there were many people who made a lot of money in that year, but I think it will be important for us to know that how we made money for our clients in the year 2020. So in that year, we gave 4 large calls. So the first call was in March of 20. That was a time when we gave a call to go double overweight on Indian equities. So when the crisis was right at its peak, it was a very, very difficult job for us to convince clients, but we were telling clients that if your asset allocation says that you should be 25% into equities, we were saying to go to 50% into equities. Double overweight position. So that was the first call. The second call that we gave was in April to buy US equities, because during the COVID times, the US equities were as much on the floor as the Indian equities were. So that was the second call that we gave. The third call that we gave was by August. So by August, some of you will remember that markets had bounced back big time, from deep red to deep green. But there were two sectors that did not participate in the rally. One was travel, which we didn't want it to touch. And second was banking, because there were a lot of worries around moratorium, that companies wouldn't pay back, home loan borrowers wouldn't pay back, and so on. So, but as a bank, the data wasn't suggesting that, although there was a lot of news around moratorium worries. So we gave a call to buy banks. I mean, just to tell you that at that point of time, most banks were almost half the price of what they are right now. The fourth call of 2020, I think, was the best call that we gave. So this was in November when the vaccine news had just started. And we were trying to see that what should be our vaccine trade, because there will be something which will have disproportionate benefit if the vaccine comes up. And the pharma prices were already through the roof. So after a lot of deliberation, we gave a call to buy oil. So oil then was $29 to a barrel. And the point was, if the world goes back to normal in 2-3 years, the oil should also go back to $65, $70, which means about 100% upside from what it was. So these were 4 calls that we gave in 2020 as a year. But at this point of time, what are we saying? Because in a year, typically we give about 3-4 large calls. So the large call for us right now is to buy into government securities mutual funds. Because as you would know, that interest rates are at a near peak right now. And you know, what we suggest is to buy into mutual funds which invest into 10-year plus government security papers. So what will happen is those papers, one would yield about 7.5% return, and over a period of time when interest rates come down, there will be a premium that you will get even on those papers. So there is a strong case that one would make about 9.5 top line number, and since after 3 years you get benefit on tax, it means about 8.5% post-tax return with Government of India risk. So I think it's a very, very interesting moment. So that's the trade that we are kind of recommending at this point of time. Just my last. So this is the last slide on succession planning. So we have a company called Universal Trustees, where ICICI is one of the shareholders. And from this company, we help our clients to write a will, make a family trust, make a business succession document, and so on. And for many large families, you know, this company of ours has done very, very pristine work in the area of succession. And the other thing that we do when we do succession planning for our clients is that we also speak about term insurance covers. Most people would not know that India is the only country in the world which has a very unique act called Married Woman Property Act, which means as a married man, if I was to buy a term insurance cover under MWPA, the policy proceeds can go to my wife and my children, and those policy proceeds are ring-fenced from all potential liabilities. So no corporate guarantee, no personal guarantee, nothing can attach that. So it's like a safe pool of money that one can leave for the family, which cannot be attached by anything. I repeat once again. So India is the only country in the world which has Married Woman Property Act, and you'll be surprised to know that this act got enacted in India in 1874. And so I've just put an illustration here. I've just put an illustration here that if a 45-year-old married man, non-smoker, healthy, was to take a 25 crore cover, and his income, of course, should be more than 2 crore per annum. What he would pay is, if he takes a 85-year cover, he would pay 9 lakhs of premium per annum. And if he takes a 99-year cover, which is also available in India now, one would pay 14 lakhs per annum as a cover. So these are 3 things that we do in private banking, which is banking, investments, and succession planning. I once again repeat that it's really an honor to be associated with this organization, which is doing so much for the society. And I was telling Vineet, today, since yesterday, I've been thinking that when do I make my start? And certainly this has given me a lot of inspiration. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
May I request the stage be set up for the panel discussion?
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for our spectacular sponsor, ICICI Bank, and Mr. Umesh Balani. We now request President RCB Rotarian Vineet Bhatnagar to kindly present a token of our appreciation.
I have 7 more Lucky Dip prizes, but first we have the panel discussion on the foundation of Rotary. Be patient, we are at the end of our program. You have lots of time to go to the next program. As you know, our program at the Siddhartha Goa for the evening starts at 7:15 p.m. You have lots of time to change, get there, and we have music for you, a live band. Of course, we have the rest of the Humse Achha Kaun Hai, which could not be finished yesterday. It'll be done first and then the live music. And remember, after all of that, from 10 p.m. onwards, because of the curfew on noise in the open spaces, we will be back at the Assembly for DJ night as the grand finale to this conference, the Polaris. May I now invite moderator Akshay Mehta to please come on stage to moderate the discussion on the foundation of Rotary. Our other panelists are Rotary International Director-elect Anirudh Chaudhary, past Governor Vijay Jalan, and I shall also be joining this discussion. Akshay, would you like to come here?
Anirudha Roy Chaudhary is a charter member of Rotary Club of Calcutta Megacity RID 3291 and was district governor in 2007 to 8 of an undivided 3290 comprising 187 clubs in India and Nepal. During his tenure, he added 450 members and 11 new clubs, and the district contributed a record 613,000 USD to TRF. He was a Rotary Public Image Coordinator during 2021 to 2022 and has served as Assistant Rotary Coordinator and Assistant Rotary Foundation Coordinator. Currently, he is serving as a member of TRF's cadre of technical advisors. Chaudhary is a recipient of RI's Service Above Self Award and the Citation for Meritorious Services Award and TRF's Distinguished Service Award. He and his spouse, Shipra, are third-level major donors and Bequest Society members. Vijay Jalan, engaged in the logistics business, has been a member of the Rotary Club of Bombay North and is past president. He has served as the district governor of District 3040 in 2011 to 12, in which he was recognized on stage at the RI convention at Bangkok for being the governor of the first ranked district in the world for the highest growth in membership and TRF collection. He has also served as the Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator RI Zones 4 and 6A from 2017 to 2020, Primary Facilitator Regional Leaders Global Institute 2021 and the COL representative from District 3140 from 2019 to 2023. Vijay has been president of the Bombay Management Association, the Indo-Belgium-Luxembourg Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He has also been a recipient of the Service Above Self Award and also the Distinguished Service Award. Vijay is married to Kiran Jalan, a core trustee of the Archana Foundation whose chairperson is Rajashri Birla. The philanthropist couple are major donor level 4.
Welcome. Friends, we are back to some serious Rotary chat. We're going to talk to you about what else do I know? The foundation. The foundation of Rotary, or the Rotary Foundation, is the topic of conversation now, and I have a very eminent panelist here. So I'm going to start. Today's conversation I'm going to have is with respect to us. We've heard a lot about the foundation from TRF trustee earlier. We heard so many other eminent, the past RI president yesterday. We heard RI directors. But I want to talk more about how does the foundation impact the club presidents, people that they want to make an impact on. So how does the foundation work on ground is what we are going to talk about, so that it becomes relevant for the clubs, for our district, and for them to go back and understand more and go back and do more. So let's have that thought process going forward. Vijay, I'm going to ask you this question to start with. You raised the highest amount of TRF and that year. How do you see the foundation as being the foundation for Rotary going forward?
Well, I think as far as the district is concerned, our district has already got into the habit of giving. So I don't think it's going to have any impact as far as, it's going to be always positive as far as 314041 is concerned. And so also I think I see that across India, that giving is now becoming a norm. Very easily people have been donating. You see so many AKS members. Besides, earlier we used to struggle for Paul Harris Fellows, but today you can see number of AKS members coming in very easily. So that's a great change that I see, positive change that I see.
Sandeep, if there was no foundation, how would Rotary function?
So can I be a little candid, Akshay? I'm speaking the truth, and I have to be very, very honest in saying that while the foundation itself is doing fantastic work, and if there's no foundation, Rotary International would cease to exist, because how many organizations have seen 118 years of existence? So let's say if the Rotary International is the soul of the Rotary movement, the heart of it is the Rotary Foundation. That's very clear. But at the same time, I would very easily say that the current policy of ending the matching to our contributions is highly detrimental to foundation collection. And I understand that there's been a crisis, a lot of money was spent on COVID. On the one hand, we say there's no money because we spent so much on COVID. On the other hand, we're giving grants of scale. It's a bit of a contradiction, if you ask me, okay? I'm not getting into the merits and demerits of both the matters, but imagine $2 million if it was distributed into global grants, how much difference would it make? I think what would have been the sensible way out, and I don't mind saying this, is that instead of making it 0% matching, you could have scaled it down to 50%, 25% and gone back, rather than that sudden chop off and say no matching. I will even venture forth and say, we have set ourselves a target of $5 million, and you as the TRF head, Akshay, know we have visibility of $5 million. We should get to $5 million at the end of the year. But I dare say, if the foundation had stuck to its guns and done a little more prudent and reasonable policy on the matching aspect of global grants, we would have been closer to 7 million than 5 million.
Yeah, so to put this in context, friends, the previous global grant matching policy was that our clubs would give XYZ amount of contribution, and then the DDF would be added on, and the world match would be 50% of the club contribution and 100% of the DDF, which is now being changed to 0 against the club contribution and only 80% against the DDF. So in principle, we are getting far less than what we were getting 3 years earlier. So that's what Sandeep is referring to. And Anirudh sir, would you like to respond to that? When are we going to get the same quantum of world match that we used to get?
Well, first of all, I'd like to extend my thanks to District Governor Sandeep for inviting me for the conference of District 3141. It's a great privilege in front of all the august Rotarians of this district to express our thoughts on foundation matter. We have with us today Rotary International President Representative Katrina, Actually, she is the most suited person to answer all of your questions, but nevertheless, I will answer on your behalf, Katrina. Now, I'll be talking about on behalf of Rotary Foundation and protecting our board of directors of Rotary International, right? So that will be my stance. So with that, perspective, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to, respond to Sandeep what he has said. Actually, the World Fund has shrunk over a period of time because of the fact that 39% of the Rotarians, they contribute to Rotary Foundation, that too annual program fund, our average contribution from India to annual program fund is not even touching $50 per capita. Whereas if you see the per capita contributions from the United States, it is $258. So no comparison. Our total giving last year has been $434.5 million total collection in 2021-22. Out of that, this contribution, India contributed only $28 million. Still, we are second in the rung. But at the same time, our per capita giving is so low because of our huge membership base. The fact remains that out of $28 million what we have contributed to Rotary Foundations, we have taken in the form of various grants more than $35 million. So it is always a deficit balance between our giving and what we are taking as far as India is concerned, or zone 4, 5, 6, and 7 is concerned. So it is quite a detrimental. I fully appreciate that, what he has mentioned. But at the same time, we are under huge fund pressure as the World Fund is concerned. Now the trustees of Rotary Foundation, they're pushing more on legacy fund. That is, we wanted to have our reserve fund, try to make it $2.25 billion by 2025. That's our campaign we are campaigning. Because we find that is, because with that fund, not only are doing immediately some service to the community, at the same time we are building up our base capital. So as a trustee, as a member of the Rotary board, as of today, the mechanism of funding is justifiable if we can increase that bottom line to a substantial level as far as India is concerned, because we are one of the largest beneficiary of the Rotary Foundation. So I think we can go back to our original system of giving 100% match against your DDF. May not be cash contribution 50%, but 100% can be done.
Sir, I can assure you that if we go back to the old system, the quantum of contributions from, especially from our district, would be on the much higher side. I think.
Can I respond, if you don't mind, Anirudh, to you? So you mentioned that India gave $28 million and India took $35 million. I mean, I don't want to give the impression that this is a policy framed for India, because it isn't. It's a worldwide policy, right? But you've quoted the Indian figures. I want to know, when you're giving $2 million to a grant of scale, how much APF have they given?
Grant scale is a different scale altogether. It is a unique concept which emerged out during the COVID time. Prior to COVID time, we have been discussing about the scale of grant. And this is what one such grant is given every year on auction. The best, best projects is taken given that award, one around the world. So that cannot be, that cannot be seen in a universal one. The most popular today, the grant is a global grant. And India's global grant, which is one of the highest number of grants, comes to the India and Africa. These are the two countries that are getting the benefit of the global grants. So where we have a tremendous amount of pressure on the World Fund, that is an issue on which we are fighting, to match this one. The 50% cash contribution could not be matched because there is not much of a World Fund, because annual program fund has declined substantially and our membership is also declining. So it is a mismatch.
Sir, let's pass on to the next topic. My theory, sir, in terms of India and annual fund contribution, and we are constantly having a challenge of how to have our Rotarians and clubs. In fact, we currently are running a TRF annual fund challenge in our district. It is extremely difficult to convince people to put in money into the annual fund. And my understanding is that because we are unable to convince them that the annual fund is giving us the great value for money. Okay, so there is a mismatch in terms of what we are saying the annual fund is doing and what people are understanding it is doing. So sir, can you try and help us build that bridge where it becomes much easier for us to convince people that annual fund is the right fund for you to invest in? Would you be able to do that for us, sir?
Yes. This is the best options for all the Rotarians of this subcontinent, where our demand for service is much more, and we have to undertake this much needed service in the community, and can be done only from the global grants, and for that we need to have a district designated fund. Their annual fund is a tremendous amount of what should I say, boost up it will give if we can increase our per capita giving on annual giving, not the total giving. Now, what is happening in total giving? If you see that last year, the Rotary Foundation in India, because all the money is not going abroad, it is just being kept in Rotary Foundation India, another trust subsidiary for Rotary Foundation, where by virtue of this position now, I have become a trustee of Rotary Foundation India. We had 3 days before, we had a meeting in Delhi on 22nd, where we identified the total collections made from the 5% from the direct giving, which is only $36,000. It's nothing much. So our trend is going in India, it's most of the money which is being collected on the direct fund, where there is no income as far as the Rotary Foundation is concerned. No, sir, we don't have any surplus. So we are only depending upon annual program fund.
No, sir, my question was, how do I convince people? What I'm trying to get at, and let me explain. We had Lakshraj earlier, and the gentleman was able to collect from a target of 10 and 15,000 pairs of clothes to 6 lakhs or 5 lakhs. And he said that why did people contribute in such large numbers for his small Instagram appeal was for one word that he explained, bharosa or trust. How can we get this translated for the TRF to our Rotarians here, that your money is going to be spent in the best possible? How do we, I'm facing a big challenge because people contribute every single day, they go to the temple, they'll put in money. But what we are trying to say here is we are doing a better job than the temple. And how do you convince them for that?
Yeah, that's the reason, that your donors, the Rotarians who donate to Rotary Foundation, the one thing is, from our side, you have to enlighten the donors, the common Rotarians, what is the impact when you contribute to Rotary Foundation annual program fund. A lot of people, they don't know about this, because annual program fund, whatever we contribute, we get it 50% back here, but at the same time, what are the left out amount, which is in the World Fund, comes back after 3 years. Also, this is being served in the world community because we are a part of a worldwide organization. It is not only in our backyard, whatever the projects we are executing, we have to also ensure that your money also being served in a third world also. So that is the beauty of this entire mechanism of annual program fund. And I think if we really push our annual program fund, we can see the bigger projects happening in India through our global grant, and this global grant amount can be enhanced further. So the possibilities is there, provided we contribute to annual program fund more than the direct fund, which is not coming through for the last 5 years.
Vijay, today we have so many speakers talk about Amrit Kal of India and all of that. So where do you see the Amrit Kal of TRF, and how do we get there?
Amrit Kal of TRF, where do you see it? Where do you see the Amrit Kal of TRF?
Oh, Amrit Kal.
from India?
Well, I mean, in the
Let's say, where am I coming from? We are talking about India as the 5th largest economy, and people are talking about India getting to become the 4th largest economy. Amrit Kal, 75 years, so on and so forth. So when do we? He just mentioned about receiving more money from TRF than contributing. I'm saying it's very easy because we are number 5 now, going to number 4. So we don't need to receive more money. We need to give more money out. When will that happen, and what do we need to do to make that happen?
Well, I think because the contribution to Rotary Foundation really comes from general members of the Rotary, is only when they are convinced of two things. One is how effectively will my fund be, or money contribution which I contribute to foundation will be used, and the other reason why they would contribute is, can I multiply towards project, which is one thing that we have already spoken. And the second is, how judiciously will the money be used for the project that I give for? Now, this is one thing which is very, very clear in the mind of most Rotarians, and that's the reason why we've seen so much of growth happening in the contribution that we see across various districts. So I don't see any major reasons to worry, but for surely what is a deterrent is when you route your money for the global grant, then your contributions may suffer because you are not getting a match as it was earlier. Once upon a time, we used to talk as past governor. During my governorship, I spoke to people that if you go through the global grant route, you get the matching grant, and all put together was 1:4, 1:7 in certain cases. And those were the examples we were able to quote. But today, can I do that? No, it's difficult. So the large chunk of money will not probably come because of this issue that we already discussed. But the small contributions will keep flowing in. This is what I gather.
Okay, so I think we are still looking for answers for that Amrit Kal for TRF, and we'll keep struggling with that. Sandeep, in your opinion, after polio, what?
Well, after polio, obviously, as I see it, malaria is going to be the next big thing. Malaria is going to be the next big thing, and rightly so. I mean, that's where we should tackle. Zambia has got that grant of scale. I'm very happy for that. The results are there for us to see, 50%. But in this context, let me tell you 2 or 3 things. Anirudh, we get $35 million as global grant, most of which is money given to TRF by us, and it comes back. Very little accretion to that, okay? The $7 million gap is the accretion, really. But every single project is vetted by the Rotary Foundation. And only when it's found it's deserving does it get approval. It's not our fault that India has mastered the art of spending money judiciously, and other countries haven't. So I don't think India should be penalized for that. That's the first thing. The second thing is, Trustee Bharat Pandya mentioned today that we have a target of $2.025 billion, which means at the economy, or at the growth, at the return of 4 or 5%, which we get internationally most of the time, we get ample money to spend on an annual basis for the Rotary Foundation. But what was very disappointing for me, there was not one word mentioned that the global grant is going to be restored to its former glory. All we heard that instead of 1 grant of scale, we will do 4 or 5 grants of scale. That was very, very disappointing for me. I think we should work towards a system where we gradually go up back to where we were. And remember, what comes as matching or what comes as DDF is a contribution which we have given, and what comes as matching to the DDF is also the balance 50% which has gone to the APF. And that money is enjoyed by the Rotary Foundation for 3 years. They've earned money out of it. So really there's nothing coming back, but even that's been reduced to 80% now. And in addition, there's a 5% admin charge. Now, here's the funny side of it. I did a project under Global Grant about 5 years ago, for installing hand wash stations much before COVID arrived, under water, sanitation and hygiene, in 800 schools in Palghar district, in collaboration with UNICEF. UNICEF had done 2,000 schools. There were 800 balance in that district. They were following the principle of saturating the district completely with 2,800 hand wash stations. And they said, would you do the other 800? And I said, yes, we would do it. We put in a global grant. I fought tooth and nail because Rotary Foundation was trying to dictate to me what I should do in each school. And I said, no, either you pass it the way I want it, or I'll go elsewhere and find funding. Don't tell me what I need to do in the schools the way you want to do it. They said, no, we'd rather you do 3 schools and do it in its entirety rather than doing hand wash stations in all 800 schools. So anyway, they were good enough to relent at the end, of course, with high-level intervention. And we implemented that project right through COVID. Remember, we installed every single hand wash station. Now, out of those 800 schools, we identified 146 schools with a student population of 80 or more students. And we said, now we want to give them safe drinking water to complete the wash triumvirate, right? And they said, no, you can't do 146. And it went on for 9 months and 12 months. And they kept on coming back with questions. It kept on getting elevated to a higher level. And ultimately, I withdrew my application and I got funding from a donor for the entire project. On the one hand, you're talking about grant of scale, and on the other hand, you're telling me what to do. It doesn't gel.
So I think a lot of people are connecting with Sandeep's anguish in terms of global grant approving processes and so on. And this is a common theme across the district. So many clubs are facing this. Sir, I have a small suggestion on this, and ma'am and everybody can take this back home. We now have something called the CSR India grants, which are being evaluated in the Rotary Delhi office, in the Southeast Asia office itself. Why can we not have global grants from our zone also evaluated by the Reserve office? I think they understand us much better. They are Indians. They know what, for example, Sandeep was mentioning, which perhaps somebody in Evanston does not connect with and cannot understand. And this would make life so much easier. Sir, you will also appreciate where I'm coming from.
What you have said made sense. What you have also made sense. But that is the reasons we are pushing for regionalization. You know, we have now 5 or 6 challenges, and we are not the challenges coming as a threat as of now. We identified that the Rotary Foundation trustee and the members of the board of Rotary International. The first challenge being is, the declining of membership. And this has become universal now. And that's why, the collection from our Rotarians has gone substantially. Number 2 challenge is continuity in leadership. The third challenge he mentioned, as of now, we have not been able to identify what should be the next corporate projects. And the fourth is regionalization, delay in regionalization. This Rotary International Board has taken a decision that we'll make region-wise, projects. If we have under regionalization, we have 8, offices around the world who will deal with all the foundation matters, all the administrative matters. They understand the local culture. They understand the need of the community.
Exactly.
And which, the people sitting in the world headquarters possibly don't appreciate that. So that is where we have to push. Now, there is a huge push is going on. The 2 pilot is going on, one in Australia, another in UK under RIBI. That regionalization, now by 2025, which is the Council of Legislation which is coming in, I think by that time the process will be completed, and from after the post-2025, we'll have that advantage to having our full-fledged office in India from regional office, and they will process all the grant matters, they will assess the grants, they will give the approval of the grants, and they will close the grants also. So these are the possibilities there. Situations opportunities coming up, but it is a delayed action from the leadership of Rotary International and Foundation.
Sir, to wind things up, I think we've raised a lot of issues here. My two humble bits of suggestion. Somebody else shared with us earlier in the evening that one fine day in 2020, they came to Goa and had a 3-day session and decided Reimagine right? Reimagine, and I would request that you do the same. Reimagine TRF. There are lots of challenges. And let me share with you, there are lots of opportunities. And believe me, this audience sitting here, 7 million is too low for them. It's too low for them.
Yes.
Okay? Because once they understand what the foundation does, I think there's no limit to what this audience can bring in. I'll share with, I'm part of the Rotary Foundation teams for the last 10 years. I can tell you there is no number that we will not be able to achieve. And I told Dr. Bharat Pandya the other day as well that please talk about 2 billion, because even that 2 billion is not a very large number for a country like India to match. So I think you know where I'm coming from. You know what we are capable of. Let's communicate it effectively and let's do some rethinking of how to make things work. And I think there's no dearth of money. We need to find challenges. We need to find things to do. Money is not a problem. Okay? Yes?
Akshay, if you see this, the program is, the name of this, title of this program, Reimagination. Reimagination, the foundation. Am I correct?
Reimagine the future.
Reimagine the future of foundation, right? But you have not spoken anything about that. Now let's come on to reimagining the situation. When we reimagine the situation, that is, let us play infinite game. We are playing a finite game today. When you start playing infinite game, it is not the 2.5, it is $5.2 billion. It is not $434 million a year, it will be somewhere $1 billion a year collections, because we'll open up everything. And for that, our biggest support is today is DEI policy. That will help us immensely, I can tell you. Our unified vision statement, and of course, our strategic priorities. These are the three things will help us to put up in the next level of foundation activities and Rotary International activities.
I think on that optimistic note,
absolutely.
Akshay,
Godspeed to you, DEY, and all
we
of
wish
that.
Anirudh the very best and all strength to take our suggestions and requests to the board. I know the trustees are different from the board, but whatever you can do. And Katerina, in all humility, we request you to hear our anguish and convey what we think is the ground reality in India. As we said, even 7 million is achievable, even 10 million is achievable at some time in the next 1 or 2 years. But we need that support from the Rotary Foundation.
Katrina, we are having a joint meeting coming up in the May at a convention. And we'll discuss of the joint meeting when we have a joint meeting with Rotary Board and the trustees on 25th of May. We are having the joint meeting. We'll discuss this matter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, panelists. It was great. And we look forward to more positive and proactive policies and to raising 10 million and upwards in the future. Thank you. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, Akshay. Give him a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Akshay, Anirudh, and Vijay. Thank you, Vijay. Vineet, may I request you to please come up? Just come to the
Gentlemen,
program,
please stay with us a little longer.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
request you
Vijay.
to kindly come on back. And we now request the amazing President RCB, Mr. Vineet Bhatnagar. Gentlemen, kindly come on back. Please come on back. Please come on back. We request you. We now request Mr. Bhatnagar to kindly present a token of appreciation for Rotary International Director-elect Aniruddha Roy Chaudhary. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anirudh.
Our next token of appreciation is for past Director Governor Vijay Jalan. Vijayji, this one's for you.
May I request Bhagwan Patil to please escort RI Director-elect Anirudh Chaudhary. He has to go to the airport straight away from here. Thank you, Anirudh.
Our next,
really grateful
thank
to you.
you
Give
so
a
much.
big hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Our next appreciation is for Alpha
Thank you,
TRF
Vijay.
Health, Akshay Mehta.
Thank you, Akshay, for doing everything what you're doing for the Rotary Foundation. Give him a big hand, guys. He's the man.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much.
So, before we have the fun program of the members of the Rotary Club of Bombay putting up a surprise act for you guys, let's pull out some more lucky draws, after which we'll have a short valedictory session and some official business of passing some resolutions, all of which I promise you will not take more than 7 minutes. So before that, we are giving away 2 prizes, each 2-night stay at the Rhythm Hotel in Lonavala, courtesy our Rotarian Ashok Jatia. Thank you very much, Ashok. It's the best hotel in Lonavala. For those of you who have not been there, it's really, really beautiful staying there. So may I request you to go to Rita Sharma to pull out the lucky winner. One, 2, 6, 3. This is the first prize we've given away on the first shot. The next prize is also 2 nights at the Rhythm Hotel in Lonavala. And may I request you to go to Vinita Venkatesh to pull out the lucky winner. One, 0, 6, 3. Oh, one more winner on the first shot. Lotika Purohit. Thank you. Give it a big hand, guys. We have 3 more prizes to give away. Do you want to do the performance now or after the valedictory session? Now? So may I request Team RCB to put up the performance. All yours, Nikita.
Ladies and gentlemen, DJ.
जगमगाती लड़कियां ये झिलमिला लड़कियां ये झिलमिलाती लड़कियां जिनके दीवाने तुम भी तो हो हंसती गाती लड़कियां खिलखिलाती लड़कियां चाहती सब क्या है ये सुनो इन सब के हैं मन इनकी धड़कन सुनो जरा सपने का है इन आँखों में दिल में है क्या अरमान Girls like to swing. जरा आगे निकल के नए रंगों में ढल के अंदाज बदल के मस्ती में है जीना जीवन रस पीना ये बात हुई ना शर्माना नहीं
All my presidents. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Saying what a crowd, what an audience all of you have been. And of course we have our amazing Katerina Kotsali Papadimitro. Ma'am, we'd request you to kindly come on up and address our beautiful audience. Stage is all yours.
Friends, all good things come to an end. That was not just a district conference. It was a Rotary event at the level of a Rotary International Convention. Congratulations. It was amazing, amazing. And I think the big success of this conference is that you associated Rotary to the reality of India today and for the future as well. That is a big success we don't find quite often, you know, in Rotary events. You made us, George and me, discover many Indias. Also, we discovered, you know, the beauty of the colors of India. The parade yesterday, I don't say fashion show, it was not a fashion show, definitely not. It was, you know, a parade of the tradition, of the beautiful colors. And I believe India is perhaps the most colorful country in the whole world. And as I said, what, you know, defines a country is its culture. And you can feel that in every aspect of the way people shake hands. They really shake hands. They don't just make like that, you know, as in many countries. They feel, they embrace, you know, and that's wonderful. You also discovered the potentialities of India to grow, to develop as a strong economy worldwide. That was something we do not find often in Rotary events. You're mega, you know, what you have done, you know. A champion this organizing committee who are in this room, stand up, a big applause for you.
All RCB members, please rise. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, and teamwork is the key to success in every aspect of Rotary. Congratulations once more. Sandeep, when I think of you, I may say that you are a role model of what we call steward leadership. You have a way to impose without shouting, just in a very calm way. I hope this is real. It's not just, you know, Malini may, you know, say if this is true, you know. Malini is laughing. I don't know why, you know. Believe me, whenever I deliver a speech, you know, on leadership, I'll think of you, definitely. And I'm sure you're going to have a rising Rotary career, definitely. Malini, the lovely lady, the sweet lady, sweet Malini, you know, with such an inspiration and so helpful always, always smiling and working, you know. We could feel how anxious she was. She was more anxious than you, I think. But once more, the philoxenia, I prefer the word philoxenia, not because it's Greek, because it's what it means than the word hospitality. Philos is a friend, and xenos is a stranger. So we became your friends, coming here as strangers. So philoxenia of, you know, of Indian Rotarians is amazing. You have been a wonderful audience. You have been wonderful friends. We had the opportunity to speak, to share, you know, should be fun, should be sharing great times together. And as the Greek author Maya Angelou says, we may not remember what has been said, but we'll always remember how we felt. And we felt really, really wonderful here in Goa, India, a beautiful part of India. Thank you so much. I would like to ask George.
Thank you, Vinod.
Just to be heard, you know. I speak here because there's no microphone. You know, in my country, the olive tree, it's a symbol of peace, but also of nobility and kindness. So we decided to bring you something that represents you and Malini.
Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you. We should cherish this always. Thank you very much. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Federico. Thank you. Yes.
για μένα τα έχει χαμένα. Μόνο στο αμάξι μοιάζει σαν ψέμα. Και μη φίλε πάντα μόνο εμένα. Μου λέγες φίλα με, στα μάτια κοίτα με. Πόσο θα ήθελα τα πάντα να σου δώσω. Κοίτα πως γίναμε, στιγμές που φύγανε. Όσο σε θέλω, μα σε θέλω κι άλλο τόσο. Πάνω στο κορμί μου σε σκέφτομαι να είσαι κι άλλο.
But there is also another couple who really became our extension, our hands, our legs, everything was done by them. Anytime, 24 hours, you know, per day, they're next to us. I'm referring to our beautiful aides, Minnie and Raj. Minnie and Raj, please, come on stage.
Έλα μη μου το χαλάς, θα σε δω να το κουνάς. Έλα μη μου το χαλάς, θα σε δω να το κουνάς. Έλα, 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 έλα μη μου το χαλάς, θα σε δω να το κουνάς. Έλα μη μου το χαλάς, θα σε δω να το κουνάς. Και πάμε και λίγο αλλιώς. Άιντε! Για μάτια είναι τα δυο σου τα μάτια. Να τα βλέπω να γίνομαι κομμάτια και τα αλλάζω για χίλια παλάτια. Διαμάτια είναι τα δυο.
It's a wonderful couple, you know, and I think that we'll have the opportunity to meet because they'll come to Greece definitely very soon as, you know, as friends, not only as Rotarians, something that's more strong, the relations we started here. And of course, you always remember the first person you meet in a country, somebody who didn't sleep a whole night and came to welcome us in the airport. Saurabh, where are you?
Τις αμαρτίες που έχεις κάνει στα δάχτυλά μου δεν μετρώ. Έχω το χέρι στη σκανδάλη, όταν σε δω θα πλοφορώ. Θα πεις μάτια μου γλυκά, το ξέρω ότι έφτεξα πολύ. Μα δεν έχει άλλα στην αγκαλιά σου επέστρεψα.
So now, a big thank you from the bottom of our heart. And now sirtaki time. Let's dance, you know, the Greek way. So, till our next meeting, enjoy, Rotary, enjoy life through Rotary, and continue to be champions as a district, as Rotarians in our Rotary world. Thank you so much, and be sure my report is going to be very, very positive, you know. Thank you.
What a note to end on, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause for the amazing Katerina and Mr. George. We would now like to call on stage President RCB, the amazing Vineet Bhatnagar, to kindly come on up. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, surprise for a surprise.
Surprise.
DG Agarwala it is, ladies and gentlemen, right there for
We're going to do
you.
the work. Please sit down, 5 minutes. Bear with me. We have to recognize all those who have contributed to the success of this conference. And I'm going to take their names in no particular order. So please forgive me. Don't feel offended if your name comes last. Don't get elated if your name comes first. We've tried our best to write it all down. First, Puneet Chatwal, Rotarian of my very own club, Managing Director and CEO of Indian Hotels, which runs this property, and the management of this property laid out the red carpet for us. You would have experienced the hospitality, you would have experienced the courtesy extended by them on every single aspect. Together with Vincent Ramos, who's the area director, I think he's got a promotion, he's got even one step higher, I don't know what that position is. Karan Gudwani, Samir Khabisia, Anish Zakaria, and so many others from the team. All Rotary International dignitaries, most of whom who have left for the airports by now, but who you've met over the past 2 days. Vinita Venkatesh is still here. Am I missing anyone else? Our past governors. Rita is here as the partner of a past governor. And Jayant is here. Ajay is here. And everyone else seems to have. Yeah, and Kiran, of course, partner of Vijay Jalan. Everyone else seems to have gone, maybe to the washroom, but they will be back. All a big round of applause. Anju Modi. Is she here or is she left? Anju Modi, the master crafter of the fantastic show we had yesterday. And I experienced which left us all mesmerized and spellbound. Thank you so much for doing this for us. It's a complete honor to have and a complete treat to have seen what you did yesterday. And we are very, very grateful to you for that. Shujat Khan Saab, the maestro on the sitar, with that very beautiful voice of his, left the entire audience spellbound. And I know so many of us who are not followers of classical music wouldn't even move an inch from the chair because he held us completely enthralled with his craft. All those beautiful children of our Rotarians who performed such fantastic performances on this stage, which you saw and witnessed, bringing a unique flavor of their own to this entire event. Thank you for coming all the way. Rotarians who brought them here, it was truly, truly rewarding for us. Wizcraft, what can I say? My friend Sabaz Joseph, who's not here, he's not well, but his entire team, are you here? Vineet Garude, Moksha Bansal, Anisha Duggal. Say hi, Anisha. Siddharth, Bindi, and other team members. I'm sorry if I'm missing out some names, and other team members who are here. A big, big thank you for putting up an immaculate show. Ably assisted by Daniel, Vivian, and Abigail of Function Junction. Anyone here? Thank you very much for everything which you've done. To Prashant Gupta, Rotarian Prashant Gupta, are you here? And your team, thank you for producing all those introduction AVs. I know you've been up till 4 in the morning on 3 consecutive nights, but that's the way we work, management by crisis, by deadline. That's the only thing things work. And thank you for doing everything you've done. The perfectionist, Rotarian Sri Nandi. She's my go-to lady. If there's anything I don't want to do, it's hard work, I push it on to her. And she delivers every time. Fantastically knowledgeable, very skillful. Thank you for everything which you've done. Vineet and Moksha, say hi to everybody. I did recognize you guys. Thank you for everything you've done. Brilliant show. Thank you, Sri. To Atul Joshi and his photography team all the way from Mumbai. Atul, bhai, where are you? Thank you for everything which you've done. All the highlights actually being produced overnight. We have a big team from Bombay of the photographers, all being done painstakingly by him. To all the aides, all our Rotarian aides, people like unsung heroes like Saurabh, Dilip, Mini, I don't know who else, Macy, who am I missing? Yeah, Sunil. Anyone else here from the aides? Kandar, Manoj, Kavita, Ria, and on Tahira. No, only those who are here. But thank you everyone for being such indispensable resources and looking after all our guests so ably and so lovingly. A special shout out for the Rotary Club of Palghar for registering the maximum number of registrants for this conference. Are you here, Prashant Patil? Thank you, all Rotary Club of Palghar members, please stand up and give them a loud cheer for their support. Thank you, guys. To my beautiful sister Nina, who helped us with the show by Anju Modi, looked after all the culinary arrangements, all the menus are fixed by her. Thank you so much for doing what you do. And what do I say about Paritosh? Paritosh, come here. And Tina. There's not one thing this man can't do. And if it wasn't for Tina, he wouldn't do half the things he does. So thank you, Tina, for letting him be what he is, for helping him all the time quietly in the background. I know how much you contribute. And Paritosh, you are an absolute rock star. Thank you, everything. Thank you so much for everything you do. And now, to my home club. I wouldn't be what I am without their support. 31 years of membership, and every one of them my friends. We are 345 members today. And how many registrations did we have, Vineet? Vineet? 75 members and 120 persons with partners at this conference. And you could see them everywhere. Thank you so much. But let me name a few of the leaders. And I'm not going to take all the team, but at the end we'll have a group photograph and all of you will be invited. I want to start with the president of the Rotary Club of Bombay, Vineet Bhatnagar. I mean, if there's anyone who I consider more of a perfectionist than me, it's Vineet. Very hardworking, very painstaking. Thank you for everything you do, Vineet. Whether it's a conference, whether it's all the project work, and everything I ask of you and demand of you, you never say no. Truly, truly grateful to you. Please stay on. To the convener of this conference, past president and my younger brother Ashish Ved. To the co-convener, Pramrose Mehta. If I mention a younger brother, hand in hand goes an older brother, Vijay Jatia. President-elect Manoj Patodia and President nominee Satya Nisrani. And all my dear Rotary Club of Bombay members who we're going to be meeting now. But before that, thanks Katerina and George for being such gracious guests, for being so undemanding, being so considerate. Not once did you ever complain of anything we couldn't do for you. We have been delighted and truly honored to have you amidst us. And I'm sure we'll see much more of you, Katerina, in the future, in other roles, but more importantly, as a friend of the Rotary Club of Bombay and District 3141. One second. Come again. Please come up. And I'll do it. I haven't forgotten. And the most important person in my life, my dear wife, Malini. And look at my cheerleaders, my dearest friends, cheering from there. Influence I have. All the calming is done by her. I'm very excitable, let me tell you that. Every night before we slept, she would calm me down and give me instructions as to what I should do the next day. And the good husband that I am, I followed her totally. Thank you for everything which you do, and thank you for being the steadying influence in my life. Thank you. Have I forgotten anyone? Huh? Yeah. Now, before we call the rest of the club onto the stage, there's a formal part to conclude this conference. Two resolutions which have to be passed with a resounding and unanimous aye, if you please. And may I request the President of the Rotary Club of Bombay, Vineet Bhatnagar, to read them out.
Thank you, Nikita, for doing a wonderful job for the last 2 days. I will read out the official resolutions. Resolved that the proceedings and deliberation conducted at the Alpha District Conference, the Polaris, held at Goa on 25th and 26th of February 2023, be taken note of. Resolved that the vote of thanks proposed by District Governor Sandeep Agarwala at the Alpha District Conference, the Polaris, held at Goa on 25th and 26th February 2023, be adopted. I now declare the official proceedings of this district conference as closed, but I invite all the members of RCB with their partners on the stage right now.
Is it strong enough? Vineet? Strong enough? Do not leave. Please wait for your lucky dip prizes. There are 3 more. 3 more. Nikita, where are you? Nikita? Thank you. Nikita, please come to the front. Our host. Where's Nikita? Nikita, our host, may I invite you to the stage, please? Ladies and gentlemen, give this beautiful young lady, come up please, come on. A resounding round of applause for so magnificently handling the last 2 days. Thank you so much, Nikita. Thank you. Come, Malini. Malini, come here. I know you're there. I want you here. Let me. Who's getting hidden. You're getting hidden.
Atavo mi rumán, grito bonito de para. Con el canto y yo vista que otro día anuncia. Atavo mi rumán, grito bonito de para. Con el canto y yo vista que otro día anuncia. Atavo mi rumán, grito bonito de para.
Atul bhai, come on, hurry up.
Atavo mi rumán, grito bonito de para. Con el canto y yo vista que otro día anuncia.
And of course, last but not the least, all you beautiful Alpha delegates, together with your family members, thank you for making it such a memorable experience and partaking in this conference. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for us. And now, the last three prizes for the lucky day for those who are still here. Malini. A complimentary room for one night at the Trident Agra, courtesy Trident Hotels. One, two, 4. Going once. 1, 2. 1, 4, 6, 2. Anyone? Gone. 1, 9. Anyone sweating? 1195. Going once, going twice, going thrice. Okay, I'm going to pull out 3 together now to save time. The second prize is one night at the Trident Udaipur. And the third prize is one night at the Trident Nariman Point. In that order. One, 0, 8, 1. Going once, going twice, going thrice. One, 0, 8, 8. Going once, going twice, gone. One, 2, 1, 8. Any winners for 1, 2, 1, 8? Once, twice, thrice. 1, 0, 4, 3. Going once, going twice, going thrice. Gone. 1, 0, 8, 5. Going once, going twice. Gone. एक साथ उठाने से सब सेम नंबर्स आ रहे हैं. 1, 3, 6, 0. Gone. One, 0, 2, 4.
Yes, all 500 we will take out.
1, 3, 2, 8. Okay, look, I'm getting very tired. So here's a suggestion. I will announce a number, and if that number is not the winner, whoever is closest to it will be declared the winner. Okay? One, 3, 6, 2. I can't hear you. Please come up closer. Is there any 1362 in the audience? What's your number? 1347. Anyone closer than that? 13? 7. 13? I can't hear you.
Others, please keep silent. Let the speaker.
1 second. 13? You're the closest. Where? He's far off. 1354, right? Please come in. Where do you want to go? You want to Agra? Or do you want to go to Udaipur? Or do you want to go to Bombay? Lucky you. Thank you. All the best. One, 4, 8, 9. 1, 4? 5, 3. That's still far away, but come closer. 1, 4, 8, 9. I have a 1, 4, 5, 3 already. Can't hear you, ma'am. Someone shout out the number for her. 6, 8 is closer. One, 4, 6, 8. That's the closest to 1, 4, 8, 9. Anyone closer than that? So 1, 4, 6, 8 it is. Now do you want to go to Udaipur or do you want to go to Bombay? You have a choice. That's okay, we believe you. What do you want? Udaipur or Bombay? All the best. And the last one. 1, 1, 9, 0. Wait here. 6, 9. And you are what?
1199.
That's 8. And this is 9. No, that's too far. That's 10 away. So the winner is Darshana. You lost by 1 number. Sorry. Darshana, congratulations.
I had to win from Bombay Club. It is 1199.
1199. Thank you guys. See you at Siddhartha Goa. Oh, we have a sundowner at the sky deck of this hotel, at the terrace. High tea being served here right now. Go up there, and after that, see you at the Siddhartha Goa at 7:15 sharp. Then she won it already. She was closest. Of course. Can someone take my mic, please?